It is 7 o'clock. I call the meeting of the Thursday, May 25th, 2017 meeting of the Bellevue Planning Commission to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Madden.
Here.
Kane.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Gladback. Jacobson.
Here.
Ackley.
Here.
Casey.
Here.
Sykes. Ritz.
Here.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. This meeting will be conducted in accordance with the Nebraska Open Meetings Act, a copy of which can be found in the back of the vestibule of this hearing room. At this time, I'd ask that all commissioners and audience members please silence or turn off your cell phones or any other electronic devices that could disrupt our proceedings, please. Also note the emergency exits are behind us over there, out that way, and also to the right. And once in the hallway, go either left or right and follow us. If you have a health issue or another issue, please stand up and advise me. And on staff and I will call 911. Fire extinguishers are in the back hallway as well as a defibrillator located to the hallway as well as the restrooms. Thanks. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to revise or approve the Planning Commission's meeting minutes for the April 27th, 2017 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussions? No discussions on the motion. Please vote.
Can you vote again, please? Sorry. All in favor, motion carried.
Great, thank you. Our next item is normally our consent agenda. We have no consent agenda items this evening, so we'll move on to our public hearing. We have one public hearing this evening. I will announce the case and then ask if there are any updates from Planning Department. After that, the applicant will have an opportunity to present their request. And after the applicant has been heard, the public will be allowed to provide any testimony that they would like to be considered in the record. Those testifying, either the applicant or the public, should come forward to the podium, state and spell their name and address, and sign in for the record. Testimony should be limited to 3 minutes, although we'll let you finish your statement, and I reserve the right to shorten that time if we have a large number of people coming forward to testify. After any testimony is taken, the applicant shall have the opportunity for a rebuttal, after which I'll close the public hearing, and I will then invite the commission to make their wishes known, and which may include requests for clarifications or other discussions points, as well as making a motion to approve or disapprove, which will be followed by a second if desired.
Mr. Chair, may I interject for a second? I think we skipped over an agenda item. I want to make
We
sure
did.
we get into the record the staff reports and attachments.
Oh,
before
yes,
we open
thank
that.
you very much.
You bet.
We'll back up to that. Need a motion to accept into record any staff reports and attachments and memos.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Madden,
Second.
second by Mr. Ashley. All in favor, please vote.
Thank you. All in favor, motion carried.
Motion is carried. Great. Okay, back to the public hearing. As the time, I'll restate the motion as needed to resolve any issues related to the motion, and second with the commission members, and then call for a vote. As the applicant presents their case, public testimony is heard, and the commission discusses the case. Please address any requests for comments to the chair for recognition so I can get the comments onto the record in an orderly manner. The golden rule is please treat others who are speaking in the same manner as you would like to be treated when speaking. Our first and only public hearing agenda item is a request for a conditional use permit for Lot 2, Harville Plaza, First Edition. For the purpose, I have the wrong one. I apologize for that. It's a request for subdivision plat, lots 1 through 5, the links being a replat of lots 2 and 3, Bazaar's replat, and a waiver of Section 3 and Section 4 of the subdivision regulations. The applicant is JDT Properties LLC. The general location is 40th Street and Platteview Road. The case number is S1704-06. Any additions by staff?
No.
No. Okay, great. If the applicant would like to come forward and sign your name, state your name for the record.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Doug Hill, Hill Farrell Associates, representing the applicant here this evening, Mr. Josh Tedder, who's also in the audience with us tonight. We're before you this evening requesting a small subdivision of approximately 10-acre parcel located at 40th and Platteview Road. There's actually 2 lots out there today, platted lots. One's a 6-acre lot that has not been developed. And then the westerlymost parcel is a platted lot containing the dwelling occupied by Josh's folks, Dale and Lori Tedder. This property has been within the bizarre Tedder family for quite a while. Josh has taken on the challenge of developing this area and replatting it. It's the lot sizes that you see are really pretty consistent with what we're seeing in that area out there. This has been a good area for acreage type lots. Good in the sense that it fits the topography. There is no infrastructure in this area. There's no sanitary sewer available. There's no water available, and I don't think anybody anticipates any of those infrastructure items being available in any time in the near future. So we feel this is a good use of the property. I think we all know Platteview Road's character is going to change sometime in the future. Everything I've seen indicates Platteview Road's going to move further north, so that will give these lots an even more of a rural character, if you will. So, because of the access to, restricted access to Platteview Road, nobody wants to see a bunch of driveways on that, obviously, at this time. We have requested a waiver of the public road, or excuse me, private road or public road along the frontage to provide access. We are requesting essentially just a driveway, which would be a rock driveway in nature. That driveway will traverse the front of the lots and go to clear to the west where there's an existing access to Platteview Road. Everybody would use that access. That access was selected years ago when this area was developed in conjunction with the city of Bellevue and Sarpy County to provide for good sight distance for access onto that road. So again, these lots will utilize septic systems and wells, and every lot is in excess of 1 acre. Primarily, the only reason that the westerlymost lot, what's known on our plat as Lot 1, is within the plat is just to adjust some lot lines between the existing property and the proposed property. So other than that, this plan will only create 4 new building sites on the 10 acres. So I think that's just a quick overview of what our proposal is. Certainly answer any questions anyone may have.
Okay, great. Thank you for making your presentation. We will now move over to the public testimony. If there's anybody in the audience that would care to make public testimony in this manner, whether in favor or opposition, please come forward, state your name, and sign in. Seeing nobody coming forward from the public to make testimony in favor or not, we'll close the public hearing, and I'll turn it over to the commissioners for discussion. What are your wishes, commissioners?
I'd like to ask Mr. Hill a question, if I could.
Yes.
Just clarification, will the private drive will it dead end to the east? Or?
Yes, it'll stop at that common lot line between lot and 4. That's the only area that the easement was provided to, just to serve lot 5. It won't go any further to the east.
Okay, thank you.
You betcha.
Ms. Smith?
I have a question about how this development or proposed development fits in with the, I'll call it the long-term plan for Platteview Road. It was mentioned that Platteview will be shifted to the north, but in terms of the nature of development that's proposed, whether Platteview will be widened, whether utilities will be brought in along Platteview Road.
As Mr. Hill mentioned, there's no plan for the near future for any utilities for this area. Our comp plan has this property listed as residential estates. That plan has been amended since the Platteview Road study has been done, so that we don't see that changing anytime soon. In this particular location, we envision that the future will be for the residential estates.
And that's in terms of long range,
Yes.
as far as
Yes.
anyone can tell at this stage of the game?
Correct. Yep.
Then I had a question about the waiver request. It's my understanding that the ordinance requires that in order for a waiver to be granted, that the applicant must show unusual hardship based on the specific circumstances of the property that's the subject of the application. How does that tie into the request for the waiver of the width requirement for the private street and also the requirement for concrete paving.
The width requirement basically is tied to the subdivision's regulations state that the pavement width should be 25 feet with 5 feet on either side. So the two waivers go hand in hand. If he's granted the waiver to allow for the gravel, then it would make sense that he's granted the waiver to have the 30-foot versus a 35. In these types of situations, we have recommended approval of these types of waivers. This isn't a situation where they're servicing a large number of lots. It's rural in nature. We're only talking about 3 additional lots versus what is already out there and platted. There's currently already 2 platted, though.
Well,
You'll add
that's
2
true.
more.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's true. Yeah, I'm sorry.
And that's why staff is recommending approval of the waivers just based on the nature of the small subdivision plat.
But not based upon undue hardship?
Again, similar subdivisions have been granted the waivers, and I believe that precedent has been set, so, we aren't opposed to the granting of these waivers.
Thank you.
Any additional comments or questions for the applicant by the commissioners? Okay. Hearing none, is any of the commissioners interested in making a recommendation to approve or disapprove?
I'd make a motion, Mr. Chair, for approval of this application based upon conformance with the zoning ordinance, subdivision regulations, and comprehensive plan, as well as a lack of perceived negative impact upon the surrounding area.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Ashley, a second by Ms. Kane, to approve the request for small subdivision plats, lots 1 through 5, the links, a replat of lots 2 and 3, Bazaar's replat waiver of sections 6.3 and 6.4. I'm assuming that's also included in the motion in the second.
Correct.
Based on the subdivision regulations, the zoning ordinance, and the comprehensive plan, as well as lack of perceived negative impact upon the surrounding area.
Correct.
Got it? Okay, great. Agree. Commissioners, please vote.
Vote is 6-1. Motion carried.
Motion carried. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, our next order of business is at the end of the agenda. So, oh, yeah, thank you. It will go to the City Council on June 12th.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Right, thank you.